technical glitch here.
Slowly move.
Yeah. It'll come back up. I'm going to start with a little story, like Martha teaches the stories. First of all, I'd like to have a volunteer. Could anyone describe to me a rose? Who wants to describe a rose? Anybody? How about Donna? Oh, somebody in the back.
Soft petals, sweet scent.
Okay, soft petals and sweet scent. Now I'm going to read about a rose. Oh, another one.
One of the most beautiful roses I've ever seen is Bette Midler's song.
Oh, there you go. I love that song too. Beautiful. Anyone else? All right, now I'm going to read about a rose. If I can see this. With roses, we are afforded a genus of garden plants with unmatched diversity in form, habit, color, fragrance, and flower shape. We can make choices among thousands of roses as dissimilar in size as 8-inch miniatures and 40-foot climbers, with blooms and smells as fine and large as soft flowers, and wildflowers in almost every color of the rainbow. Okay. So we've heard about someone describing a rose, we've read about the rose, and now this is the rose. We can see it and we can smell it, right? So truth comes to us in two ways. What's called the second principle is indirect. Someone talks about it, someone reads about it, a book, a description, that's indirect. And then there's another way truth comes to us through direct experience, which is like smelling and looking at the rose. Now, whoever says or describes or you read something in a book about a rose, it's still not the same as smelling and looking at the rose. And that's the point about truth, that's the point about Tao. In the Tao Te Ching, the first verse is this. Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth is nameless, as the mother of all things, it is nameless. It is nameable. So as ever hidden, we should look at the inner essence. As always manifest, we should look at the outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. In other words, if you can talk about it, that's not it. At best, words and books are pointers to the truth and not the reality itself. So many times we see religions that get stuck on the signpost and say, I've got the truth, the Bible, or whatever book you want to say. All of them are guilty of it. But in reality, all they have in their hand is a pointer to that. Yeah, some problem here. This is kind of a, there we go. Maybe this is, okay, there we go. There we go. There you go. So the title of my talk is The Tao of Unity and Diversity, the Practice of Spiritual Alchemy. And when you think of alchemy, it's more of a scientific term. Turning metal, like base metal, into gold. It's basically a process of transformation. And the Tao of unity and diversity is like that. Okay? But let's talk about what the Tao is first. Oops. I won't do that. The Tao is called the Way. It's very common. It's up here on the board, as you can see in your coexist sign. You've got Islam and Christianity and Judaism and all the major religions, including Taoism. So it's part of what's welcome here in the Unitarians. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about unity and diversity, when I see the word Unitarian Universalist, it kind of strikes me as that. Unitarian is unity, and Universalist is diversity. Okay? When I was young, I was involved in a movement that was about looking at the world as one family and accepting all diverse backgrounds and opinions. That's why I've always felt a kinship to Unitarian Universalists, because they have this ability to look at things both through the united perspective and the diverse perspective. Okay? So the Tao is the way, or the principle of life, yin and yang. It's also called the watercourse way. They say the Tao is always looking for the lowest place. So it's the way of humility, the humble way. Yin and yang, we're familiar with yin and yang. Essential duality, okay? Everything that exists has a duality. That's how it functions. It cannot function without that. Even at the subatomic level, we've got protons and electrons, right? These are the duality. That's how life works. And it produces an energy of life. If we didn't have energy, we wouldn't be alive. So there's a direct connection to energy, the essential energy of life that we all need to live. Here's some examples of the Tao in creation. Obviously, male and female. That's self-evident. Dark and light. Right and left. Inner and outer. Essence and form. Soul and ego. Mind and body. Stamen and pistil. Unity and diversity. Nirvana, samsara. We did a presentation a few months ago about heaven and hell. Okay? It's like nirvana, samsara. And then here's another one that we really miss sometimes. Being and doing. Okay? Western culture tends to focus on doing. What are you doing? What am I doing? What is my life about? What is my career? Or we call it on the phone. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. How you doing? What are you doing? Doing, right? So you have to be careful that you don't become a human doing and forget that you're a human being. Right? And which one is primary? Being is the basis of doing. Right? But when you're like even when you meditate and you're peaceful, something's going on. Something is doing you. Your heart's beating, you're breathing. So you can never divorce the two, the being and the doing. You're never a pure being and never a pure doing. But based on your consciousness, you may have a predominance of one over the other. And if you get out of balance, this creates stress, breakdown, ill health, unhappiness, depression, this out of balance of being and doing. And this is what happened to me. When I was a stockbroker for many years, I became more of a human doing than I was a human being. And involved in that world, it was very stressful, and it eventually ruined my health. And it forced me to turn towards the being side. And I chose to go into the path of Eastern esoteric practices, not one particular one, but I studied all of them. Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Sufism, all the mystical and more spiritual sides. Okay? Does anyone have other examples of the Tao in life? Can you name something that I haven't?
I'd like to mention that it's a balance of the two more than yin is superior to the
That's right. There is no superiority. They're interdependent. That's right. You can't have one without the other.
No, you can't.
That's right. Absolutely. It's when we get out of balance, the problems, or when we start thinking that one is superior over the other. Yeah. Any examples that you can think of that I haven't gone over? I mean, they're everywhere, because it's the fundamental of life. The Tao is the fundamental of life.